to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here for another video. So I was thinking about how to keep these videos going for a little while I get some content created, and I figured that I could do a mini series on the pregnancy, you know, every week how I'm doing, kind of taking you along for the ride until little man gets here, which is about 11 weeks or so. I'm 29 weeks pregnant today. So I figured it'd be a fun way to get this YouTube series started with a little series. I will still be sharing, you know, a day in the life, getting ready, weekend vlogs and all that, because I'm still living my life. But I figured that I could center a couple of his videos around the pregnancy. So let's dive into today's video. I am going to talk to you today while I get ready about gestational diabetes and my experience with it. I want to share on this video that I am no doctor and I'm no medical professional, and this is no medical advice. I am just sharing my experience with gestational diabetes. I'll be sharing my results and my whole experience with it, because I did go a different route than usual. Let's start by saying what is gestational diabetes, and I'm going to read the definition from the CDC because I am no doctor. So gestational diabetes is a type of diabetes that it's first seen in pregnant women that did not have diabetes before she was pregnant. Okay, so basically you have diabetes while you're pregnant. If you get diagnosed with gestational diabetes, that's all it means. It goes away after you deliver your baby if you do get diagnosed. So how do you get diagnosed? They will test for this around 24 to 29 weeks pregnant, and they test at the hospital. So how does the test go? So you will go to your appointment and you would have previously drank this glucola, I think that's what it's called, which is a sugary drink, and then come in your appointment to get your blood drawn and get it tested, your blood sugar essentially. And they want to look at those numbers after you took the drink to see how much your blood sugar went up or down. And then they will determine if you do have gestational diabetes or not. According to the Mayo Clinic, a blood sugar level of 190 milligrams per deciliter is considered or indicates gestational diabetes. Obviously, this is very personal, and your doctor will decide with you if you do have it or if you don't. This is just what I was read out of the internet. Don't not take this as the holy grail. Like, if you tested that, you know, just always speak to your doctor. I decided to opt out of that specific test just because I wanted to go the more holistic route. I did not want to drink the glucola drink and get all those that sugar and all that stuff. I just always knew I didn't want to do that. So I talked to my midwife and I asked what my other options were if I didn't want to do that specific test at the hospital. So she says that there were a couple options. I could test my blood sugar in the morning and after eating, an hour after eating every meal, with a finger prick and a glucose monitor, the way, you know, most blood sugar is tested at. And I would do it at home for about a week and record my results and bring those results with me to my next appointment, and they will look at them and give me the yes or the no. My other option was to get a continuous glucose monitor, which is a sensor that it's put in your arm. It's very easy. It comes in a little applicator and you just put it in your arm, and it's always testing your blood sugar, and it connects to your phone through an app, and you check it anytime you want and it will give you a blood sugar reading. And then the third option is to not test anything at all, and just know that that is an option with every test during pregnancy. You always have a say into what testing you want to get done and what testing you don't want to get done. So always talk to your doctor about that. If you feel like a test is not something that you want to do, always talk to them about your options and know that you can advocate for yourself if you do not want something done to you or to your baby. I am not saying to not get testing done. I'm just saying that you have the option to look into this test and decide what you want or not want to do. What I chose to do was to take my blood sugar at home and record the results and bring them to my midwife. And I also got the glucose monitor that was inserted in my arm. I was interested, and that kind of sounded fun to experiment with that. I'm very nerdy. I like to see like all the data about everything, so it was fun. And I'm gonna share my experience with those too. The way that it works for testing your blood sugar at home is that you will get a glucose monitor. You can get these on Amazon or in a pharmacy. You do not need a prescription for the regular glucose monitor. And you will just finger prick and test your blood sugar and document the results. So you will do that the moment you wake up. You will take your fasted blood sugar, and then you will test it again an hour after breakfast, an hour after lunch, and an hour after dinner. And the way that I did it is I just documented it on my phone, on my notes app. I wrote down my numbers and what I ate, and I brought those to my midwife. And I will attach a video on how I did that, like the whole finger prick and everything, to show you. Glucose monitor, the standard, the one that probably most of you are familiar with. You get your monitor, you get your pen, I guess, where the needle is, and then you prick your finger with this, and then these are your test strips, and then you put it in here, and you put your finger or your blood into that, and it'll give you a reading. I'll show you how I do that, but I wanted to show you the ones that I got, and it comes in a little kit with your needles and your blood test strips and the monitor and this little pouch. I got this off Amazon like, I don't know, 5 years ago, honestly. I've always been curious about my blood sugar, so I've always had this with me just for fun, really. So this is how it goes. I'm going to place the strip here, and then the needle is already in here, and we're gonna pick a good finger to get some blood off. There we go. Squeeze it, and then we test it just like that. Okay, so my blood sugar is at 92 right now. And now we're going to go ahead and document that. And the way that I'm doing it is I just have it on my notes app on my phone, and I've put every day that I've done it so far, what I ate, and what my blood sugar was after. I also have the results and the numbers from the glucose monitor that I did for a week as well. And those numbers were recorded on the app on my phone, and I took those to my midwife as well. So I did both, and I'm very glad that I did, because if I was just relying on the glucose monitor on my arm, I would have been very anxious, because it's a little more complicated than just, you know, taking your blood sugar at home and getting a reading. This will connect to your arm, like I said, and it would get the readings through the app. You have them available all day, 24 hours. You can check your blood sugar. It also comes with alarms. So if your blood sugar goes below a certain number, it will start beeping, and you cannot take that off. It's a safety thing. Since you cannot take these alarms off, it started beeping the first 2 days while I got adjusted to my blood sugar, I guess. And it really freaked me out, because I thought that my blood sugar was really low, but it really wasn't. Apparently this is what happens with the monitor. It's trying to get adjusted to you. So it will give you a bit of a false reading the first like 2 days. So that's why I was doing the finger prick, because I was getting different readings on my sensor. So I did both just to have a little bit more data there, a little more accurate data. I also noticed that it wouldn't read my blood sugar if I had like a jacket on or a thick sweater on, the glucose monitor in my arm. It wouldn't give me a signal. So I would try to check it and try to document it just to see what it was at, and it wouldn't give me a reading if I had something thick on, which I live in the Pacific Northwest. So that was a little bit annoying, because I need to have a sweater on at all times because I am freezing over here. So that wasn't nice. It was also uncomfortable to have in my arm the first couple days. It does hurt a little bit, at least it did for me. And then I kept forgetting that I had it, so I kept bumping into things. And like in the shower, I would like go like that with my arm, and I wouldn't come off because it's like really stuck to you, but it hurts, you know, if you like touch it with your arm or like try to take it off by accident. I do not like to have the glucose monitor in my arm. I much rather just finger prick and document it with me. So that is my experience testing at home and comparing the two ways that you could do it. I did get a prescription for the Libre Style 3. That's the glucose monitor that I had. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I'm glad that that is an option for people to do at home. And if that is something that really interests you, then you can talk to your provider and they can send a prescription for you. And that's a way that you can test your blood sugar. I did all of that for a week and I took the results to my midwife and my numbers look great. So I do not have gestational diabetes, which is great. With that being said, just know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting the test done at the hospital. It was just a personal preference for me to opt out of that specific way of testing and get it done this way. Other than that, I am doing great in this pregnancy. So far, 29 weeks. Obviously, I'm a little achy, I'm out of breath, I have to pee all the time, but those are, you know, normal pregnancy things. Nothing to be concerned about or really complain, but I'm pregnant, so I'm going to complain anyways. Another testing that we did last week was test for iron because I was feeling out of breath and exhausted and fatigued, and that's also routine at about 28 to 30 weeks pregnancy. And it came back very low to my surprise because I do eat a very heavy carnivore diet, but it's something that happens. Is very common in pregnancy around this time because baby is taking a lot of oxygen and the placenta is taking oxygen for the baby, and you have a lot of more blood volume, so you also are circulating more oxygen, so it's common to have low irons around this time. So I am doing a beef liver supplement to help out and obviously continuing to eat all the iron rich foods that I can. Another symptom that I've had also since like 15 weeks pregnant that I hate, and they say it's very common, but I haven't met anybody who has experienced this, is nosebleeds. Like gnarly, horrible nosebleeds. And they scare the shit out of me because I have never had a nosebleed before being pregnant, and these just like don't stop. They are terrifying to me. Let me know if you have experienced these because I don't want to be alone in this. Kind of feels like I am. They're just so bad. I just don't like blood and it's just gushing down my nose. I'm sorry, I know too much information, but shit's nasty. But yeah, other than that, baby boy is doing really good, and I'm doing really good, besides the pains and the aches and the iron, but we're getting through it. Nothing that we cannot fix. Alrighty, let's finish here with some blush. But man, is it getting closer to my due date, which is the beginning of April, and I'm just so excited to meet little man. So I am trying to do all the things to get the days to go by faster so we can get there already. I just want to meet him. I'm so excited to meet him. This is the bump. I don't think I've shown you guys. go to the prenatal visit and see how this babe is doing today. Here we are walking to my prenatal visit. It is super snowy. We've had a winter snowstorm, or we've had it for the past 2 days. Today is really sunny and beautiful, but it's supposed to resume tomorrow. So, yay for that.